Well, now we're
Okay,
live.
now we're
Hello
back
again,
again, and
friends.
I'm so embarrassed, everybody, like for my horrible computer
But I like your
skills and
lipstick.
my I did put on a little bit darker lipstick,
I mean, well,
I
who cares
think,
about computers? Let's talk about the real stuff. Your lipstick
but
looks
like,
fabulous.
man, we got a new router, we got everything, fixed up, and well, we thought we did, and it's not, it's just not working. And I tried to switch to the phone, and that was a huge mistake. So,
And Cece's been bouncing around from the Princess Pass to. So what's the path they take? They go from the Princess Pass to where? To Dorne, to Planky Town, to Old Town.
Now, lady, like Vaith is kind of, if I'm not incorrect, Vaith is kind of in the middle of Dorne. I mean, it is, I think Vaith is more, is that the one where the sulphurous river is? Because there's one that has a sulphurous river.
I have no idea, to be honest.
I think I did a live stream where I had to like know things about dorms and Dorne and all that kind of stuff.
We're both doing the same thing.
It's because of Naomi and the dorms, and I'm trying to type in the chat. And thank you guys for sticking around, because I'm not that dumb on computers. I think they just hate me. To be the issue
Peter.
right now. Peter,
Hi,
Griffin,
Peter. Hi, Robbie. Thank you.
And Robbie. Yeah, thanks for sticking with us, guys. That's what I was trying to write. Thanks for sticking around for my idiocy. So this is kind of going back, but most people, this is going way back, but most people, this Dunk told him when he was talking about taking out his boot, that most people think he's at Summerhall, that he went back there with his father and his brother after the tournament. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Hello, Drawbridge Media.
Oh, hey, Drawbridge. Thank you very much.
Hi. Thanks for coming and finding us again.
Yeah, I watch Drawbridge Media, and they do such a great job with Harry Potter. And I told them we had talked about Harry Potter, because we don't read a lot of the same stuff, but that was, one that we had talked about doing. But I don't.
We're all hooked on
or anything. So yeah. All right, sleep on the roof. There we go. Again. And then Ashford Meadow, and then he does mention he almost lost a hand, a foot, and 3 good men died. And the best thing to come out was egg. And we're past the dream, and we're to the other way. Or did y'all go past that?
Some other way. That's where I think we were.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure when the chat. when the stream cut out.
And then
it was like 30 something minutes.
I have a note of so Lord Wyman's daughter and Sir Eustace's youngest son, Adam was squiring over at Coldmoat, and they kind of had a thing going on. So he went over there to ask if about like arranging the marriage for her hand for his son, and he was kind of dismissed, and he heard laughing when he left. So he swore that day that he'd never step foot at Coldmoat again until he was apologized to. Where so therefore he can't do the whole blood price thing, and that's what I was saying. And maybe you heard it, maybe you didn't. I don't know. That it was kind of like quaint how Dunk doesn't know what the blood price is like. So, and that's where you pay a lord for injuring his party or killing some of his party. So therefore they won't be angry with you. Yeah. And so, and then also Sir Eustace says about how Dunk, that his daughter died in the spring. Remember, she was taken away, and Dunk is the kind of knight that Sir Eustace always had hoped he would be able to, match with his daughter, and he calls him True Steel. And I thought that was a great name for a sword, but
yeah,
I just thought that was a really like heartwarming moment. So
yeah, I did too. Like,
and then,
I feel sorry.
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I feel sorry for Sir Eustace, but then sometimes I just want to shake him like this and be like, "Wake up, Sir Eustace! Just wake up!"
See, okay, Lori,
too. Yeah, we don't know if anyone heard us.
Right, Lori was saying.
I was like, on the one hand, yeah, it's just so sad, and like he goes on these like monologues.
Oh, y'all said that already. Okay.
We don't know if we were live or not.
Yeah, maybe we talked about it. Maybe we did. Well, we actually did talk about it, but who knows if y'all heard us. She was saying how she thinks he might be a little bit on the dementia side, like maybe creeping in. I just think, he's just
that's where
brokenhearted.
That's where
it's just grief.
The first time I read it, and every time I reread it, I'm like,
right,
you got other things to do here,
Well, you know me.
And it all depends on like how patient it is, but that Dunk seems totally into everything he has to say. They definitely have a lot in common, that solemn heart and that sense of pride and honor.
Yeah.
So then the next note I have is about how when Dunk goes up and tells him to draw a bath again, and Egg gives him crap about he's just like, what?
Jeez, man.
He totally names off all the different times that he's bathed,
right.
It's and he bathed this time and this time. He's like, what's up? And he's like, oh, I'm gonna go meet a lady,
a highborn lady,
a highborn lady. I can't smell like Sir Bennis the Penis.
Yep. I really, really love these little basement psych sessions that that Dunk and Egg have together in this story.
Yeah.
These little lessons learned from each other in the basement,
exactly
turning the bathwater in and everything. I just love it so much. Cece might be coming. She's spinning through a wormhole.
So then
I turned her on to connect her to the stream, so we'll see what happens.
You're turning each other on?
Like Lucas Long at Duncan. So yeah.
So this is when Lady Vaith comes up. This is I don't know how to speak to a highborn lady, and he has that super endearing little paragraph where he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna basically tell her to take the dam down, or I'll ask her to take the dam down, or if it please my lady, and that whole line. And Egg's like, you need help, He's like, I blew it with Lady Vaith, and he's like, it wasn't that bad. And Egg's 10. He's like, you could have been more gallant.
Yeah,
right.
I don't know.
And then I love it.
Lady Vaith, because he does say she was right. Egg said she was mad a little bit, so yeah, just wondering what he did or didn't do or anything, whatever that may or may not have been.
Right. He's like, she's crazy anyway.
So you got to smooth him with some gallantries. And he's like, what? He's like, oh, I don't know, compliments. Or you could sing. And he's like, oh, you told me that I had a terrible voice. Don't you remember? And he's just like, oh, you told me not to remember, sir. Or you'd clap me in the ear or whatever.
He's like, you remember that? And he's like, well, you told me to forget, but yeah, I remember it. Thunderclap, do you think Sir Eustace reminds Dunk of Sir Arlen as a father figure? I definitely think yes, in a way, but then, Dunk's never had a father, so I think he's always kind of looking for a father figure, in a way, maybe more than he even realizes.
And he's so kind, in the beginning, what we talked, you guys talked about. I was talking about it in my room with the migraine, but it's all good. Just how with in the past. Oh my gosh! Now I just lost it. Okay, thank you, Robbie. Oh my gosh, I just lost it. Never mind. it's gone the way the
No,
dodo.
I didn't deserve it. Yeah, that's very true.
But like
Drawbridge.
his singing, and then I like
Oh, this was
the part where
CC.
is Cece here? Oh, I'm like, yay.
No,
Oh, the next part.
If Cece was here, she'd be all over this question. It was the one about Sir Eustace and being a father figure, like Sir Arlen. So
Yeah, Sir. Oh, Sir Eustace. I think that he's just a sweet old man. I think he's brokenhearted. I think he's just grief stricken, just for all of his losses, all of them. Like, and that's because he was talking about his family seat, and he was talking about like we get into the whole nitty gritty, which our partner in crime, Cece, totally schooled us all on the history of what the heck. So all of this stuff that Sir Eustace is talking about, basically, he's a landed knight, and that's like out of the charity of the Tarks. So
well, he talks about that the blood price was something they could do if with the gardeners and the Tyrells becoming the stewards of Highgarden, and then Sir Eustace made a vow not to go to Coldmoat because of what happened to Dake, which he calls him Lim, and Duncan has to correct the poor guy. But he talks about how they had 4 castles, and Coldmoat was the largest of the ones that they had. And Maegor, which Theseus talked about, Maegor took them away because Osgreve's father spoke out in favor of the faith militant. So basically, what's going on in what happened in the show, and did she do that in the books too?
Who, what?
Hire the faith militant, because she did it to basically get out of marrying Sir Loras because he's gay. But I don't remember. She does do it in the book because she wants to get rid of Marjorie. Okay, maybe somebody can help me with that. And he goes to tell Dunk that he took his sons up there, and that in Coldmoat there's actually the Checky lion carved into the gate, right above the gate, carved into the stone. Oh, here, Miss Duncan, you have a question. And his son Adam served. His son. Yeah, y'all talked about this. His son Adam served as a page and a squire. Fell for Lord Wyman Weber's daughter, but they thought he was beneath them to do that. And that's when we first kind of hear of Sir Lucas Inchfield. And Dunk said that he didn't swear any vows, so he'll go. And Sir Eustace says she wishes Dunk would have married his daughter Alethane because he's a true knight. And he says it at least 2 times. But Duncan believes, these are things a sworn sword should do for the guy that they're sworn to, unlike Sir Bennett, who's just a piece of shit. And there was one thing that Egg said, that to smell as bad as
bad,
to smell that bad, you'd have to roll in a tub of mace.
Wait, no, that's coming up. That's coming up. That's when they're on their flight. Are we already walking with Sir Eustace on the way?
No.
Yeah, because that's when they talk about that. But the other thing that I love is that the only song that Dunk knows all the way through is the Bear in the Maiden Fair. Okay, like, which I know some of the verses, but like, that's kind of a bawdy song. So I thought that was kind of funny. So he's just like, and then Egg talks about how
to talk to a highborn lady.
Right. Well, how to talk to a highborn lady, but it like something comes up about the black arts, and Doug's like, no. No,
Well,
like
because-
highborn ladies don't do the black arts, and of course, our egg is like, yes, I do.
I feel like it's the best. It's just to read it, where he's like, well, they
He
talk about
talks
that
about
she
her
has she has had 4
children.
husbands. They've all died. Whenever she gives birth, a demon comes by night to carry off the issue. Sam Stoops' wife says so it must be true. She's like the internet. And and so she sells the babies to the unborn lord of 7 hells, so he teaches her the black arts. Highborn ladies don't meddle with the black arts. They dance and sing and do embroidery. He's like the male Sansa right now. The male Sansa of whatever, just this romanticized version of ladies like she does at night. Maybe she dances with demons and embroiders evil spells, Egg said.
Miss Duncan said maybe she embroidered the spells.
Yeah. So they dance, they sing, they embroider.
And then you guys can go into who he thinks does it.
Did you mention that she sold the babies to the Lord of the 7 Hells? Which I thought was kind of funny because I didn't know there was a lord of the different hells, but you know, whatever. Then Ed talks about Shiera, which is Bloodraven's paramour. She bathes in blood to keep herself useful, and I know that she isn't the only one in history. Like, this isn't history.
It's rumored to have do that,
Right. And his sister Ray tried to give him a love potion so he'd marry her and not
Daella.
Thank you. I was about to say Rayella.
His other sister,
And he spits it out and he says he doesn't want a wife. He wants to be a knight of the Kingsguard. And Dunk says, well, you probably feel differently about that when you get older, which made me think of Benjen telling that to John.
Yes, another parallel.
There's all these parallels to every Stark ever with Dunk.
Yeah, and Night's Watch is a big one. Like all the stuff that you've talked about. And so he says that Sir Eustace says that Egg reminds him of his son Adam. Of course, he's dressed in Adam's his clothes, things like that.
Oh wait. So like that night, doesn't he tells him, oh well, you know, when you go to like Dunk's like, I'll wear my best tunic with the one that I got down in Dorne that's painted on it, this painted silk one, and and Egg's like, oh, it'll be gross by the time why don't you take it there, wear your other one, and take it there and you can change before you get there. And he's like, well, how am I supposed to do that? And he's like, oh, I'll help you basically. And he's like, well, you're not going. And he's just like, actually, a knight's more impressive if you have your squire with them. And he's like, yeah, the answer is no, and no, and no, and no, and no. Like, but so then the next morning he wakes up and Dunk's already gone, and like he goes to get ready. Egg's already gone. He goes down and well, look at that, Thunder's all like ready to go, and then what do you know?
So is Maester and Egg.
So is Maester and Egg, and Egg's all wearing his little squire outfit, like in even like some little white breeches, which our domestic goddess, Sam Stoops' wife, stitched them up for him. And then he sent Sam Stoop actually down into the like basement, I guess, whatever, like, and digging through the stuff to find different things. Of course, Dunk would never fit in any of Sir Arlen's son's armor. Like, he's too tall and too wide. Like, obviously, he's a giant. We know he's a giant. So then he says to take the west road, and I was surprised at how far away this castle is. Like, when like 3 or 4 hours or something like that. That's a long way. I didn't look at a map. Did y'all look at a map?
You're breaking up, bro.
You're roboting, babe.
Okay.
We just
we lost you.
And we just do-si-doed, so. we'll just continue
well.
until
So
yeah.
this is kind of where we left off before. So welcome to Glory and Knives.
Duncan Egg Book Club. No, I do want to just mention something before we move into the woods with Eustace. Super quick, when Egg talks about his sister's poisoning, his one sister poisoning him so the other one wouldn't marry him. He must, like, if you think about it, he was only like, he had to be 8 years old because he's been with Dunk for, you know, the last year and a half, 2 years. So he has to be 8 years old when this happened. And his sisters are fighting over, like, who's going to marry him, right? And then...
Yeah, and making up potions.
Yeah, and they're not having... I don't know if they've mentioned it yet, but, like, they don't have them, like, betrothed to, like... Well, obviously, like, Aemon's away. I don't know if Darren's married at this point, but that's something I want to look more into is, like, that. But then also, like, how did he know that there was a love potion in there? Or does Egg just tell lies? Remember, like, Baylor's like, oh, boy lies. But yeah, so I don't know if he's really tells lies or if nobody believes him, you know? But how do you know that? Does a love potion taste like something? Sorry, that was just my one.
Doesn't she tell him? I think she tells him, and that's when, like, he spits it out. Like, I think she tells him because he's like, well, Dunk's like, well, did it work? And in Dunk's head, he's just like, listen to him talk about marrying his sisters like it's the most natural thing ever. Like, so it's still glitches for Dunk, but you know.
But he just like getting used to the fact that like he's with someone that's totally normal.
Right, and yeah, so it totally is. So, yeah, he's like, I don't know, I spit it out. Like, I didn't drink it. I don't want to get married. I don't want to be in love. I want to be a knight in the Kingsguard, basically. So
yeah, and we don't. I'm sorry, everybody. We don't have the magic fingers to put people's like chat text on the screen. We don't have that power. But I did see that Cece and some others are having conversation about women in the medieval times and how basically like a woman, like a lady or like a bastard woman or whatever, like all these rumors are just spread about them and how they deal with that and what they have to deal with. Right?
Cece
Is that the conversation I kind of tried to peep in on?
Yeah.
Cece said something about, yeah, Miss Duncan, Bloodraven is messing with my,
1,000 eyes in the Yes, and if you're a petite woman, you have to piss twice as hard, so.
She was talking about Shiera. But I thought it was something about being. Oh, she did say something about her not like Lady Weber not trying to fix any of these rumors or like, you know, say no, that's not what I'm like because it's her
she's almost better off.
Her armor. Right. And she has Lucas, you know, long inch watching out for her. Okay, so we talked about the blood price, and he has some, which, you know, he's only going to pay the guy that got cut 1 silver stag, and
the Lord 3.
Then the lady 3. Yeah.
Yeah, like, wow, seems a little. But I guess like that's their property, basically. I mean, like the serfs kind of. That's how they.
There's a line that comes later that I like regarding all that, though, too.
Right.
Really?
So I get it. Yeah.
The next part is they're walking. Then in Sir Eustace says, "Well, let's take." Well, he cloaks, and there's another parallel moment where he cloaks him, like where he puts his and Dunk's like, oh my god,
yeah,
like no, don't
put that cloak on me, please.
I don't want it. I don't want it.
It's so hot.
Like Sir Eustace was so beaming with pride once, like he was like, oh, I didn't have the heart to tell him no, which there again is like another father figure, you know, like where it's just like I couldn't tell my dad I'm not wearing that crap, like. So then he wears it, and so they go by, and once again they go by the old blackberry thicket where Sir Eustace's whole family is, well, not all of his family, most of his family is buried there, and and then he starts reminiscing about when his kids and Allison to his daughter they would always go down there and they'd come up with scratches on their arms and sticky faces, and he knew right where they were. And so that's like a spot where, like, in our last story, every time he gets a new cask of wine, he goes down and has a drink with his sons that he's buried down there at the Blackberry thicket. So another, for me, it's another touching moment. Like you guys might think you might have a little dementia. I think it's grieving.
No, I'm with you. I, for the most part, love reading him.
Yeah, I mean, like he is like a grandpa that I just want to be like, oh, I love you. Don't be sad. Don't be sad.
Yeah, and he talks about Highgarden passing from the kings to the stewards, which I mentioned, the Tyrells, and the Ospreys dwindled and diminished. It was Aegon's son, King Maegor, who took Coldmoat from us when the Lord Ormond Osprey spoke out about the stars and swords, or the poor fellows. So I don't know why Maegor would get mad. I don't know all that history, so if there's a reason that Maegor would have gotten mad about that, because it seems like they would be all up in the Targaryens' business. Adams, let's see, served at Coldmoat and was going to marry Lord Wyman's daughter. We talked about all that. I'm so sorry, you guys.
No, that's all right. But it's
So now we're kind of page 162, 163.
Wow, yeah, I'm way back. Okay.
My next notes are, well, he's talking about then the battle, right? And how
at Redgrass Field.
Y'all did not make fun of Alicent?
Huh?
Did we get to that?
No, we're just on his walk. Where the only notes I really have are about the Blackberry thicket, the Riverman. Gotcha. So it's the Riverman with the 6 acorns who chopped off Adam's arm. This is all on the Redgrass Field, during this battle. Mm-hmm. And he was protecting his brother Harold, which is just the whole thing is just so sad. I
don't understand why Daemon stayed there to protect a guy that was in the kingsguard.
Oh, you're talking about Daemon. She was just talking about Eustace's kids.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That's
but later, so then Lord, but this is where he asks Sir Eustace, kind of asks him, which side are you on?
Are you red or black?
Are you red or are you black? And Dunk's gulp, oh crap, man, don't, because these even now, this many 15 years,
you don't know.
Yeah, 15 years after, people are still pretty divided. So he's just
but
he's my liege lord, I have. So I have to kind of tell him. So he kind of dances around it and says, "Oh, Lord Hayford." So he doesn't say black or red. He says who Sir Arlen,
we had to fight for this guy. He puts it in words like that. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't there. He was just talking about Sir Arlen.
Right.
He was too young.
Pretty much spits out the word loyalist.
Yep.
I noticed that. And okay, what I looked up, he was Maegor's hand.
No, Darren.
He was his hand first, and then Maegor's brief. Well, that would have been way before that, or maybe he was hand.
Yeah,
twice.
No, there was just Darren.
He was beheaded for trying to get Darren to give up. No, that was Maegor thrown to Rhaenyra.
I don't know where you're at.
I think I'm way behind, in the history, or it could be another Hayford. But King Darren made him the hand because, and we're going to hear about him in the next story, Lord Butterwell's loyalty was in question, and he did a terrible job as hand of the king.
Well, and then also during this little walk, he talks about then when he's talking about the reds and the blacks, and it basically Sir Eustace, who he gives a shout out most, and Dunk thought Sir Eustace says it was, I think, who was Daemon, who was the warrior of the day, and Dunk's oh really, I thought it was Baylor Blackspear, that's weird. And he's this is another one of my t-shirts, Like don't believe all the songs, like whatever. Don't believe everything.
The hammer and the anvil. Yeah.
Yes. And then like he's just like about the hammer and the anvil, which is Prince Baylor is the hammer and Prince Maker is the anvil, and basically then Sir Eustace also drops us another big one, like telling us how he thinks basically it was Bloodraven casting the spells to win for the day. So that Daemon and Bloodraven,
he'll believe those songs.
Right. Daemon and Bloodraven were fighting and the red grass field broke Aaron. So he thought Daemon was the warrior of the day instead of Baylor, because he says he broke Aaron's van, the Ares van to pieces. He slew the Knight of the Nine Stars and Wild Will Waynwood. And then I love how they do this for a fight. They dance.
A lot of people from the Erie. Yeah.
Sir,
call it a dance. Yeah.
Yeah, I love how they call it a dance.
Pretty much,
it's just
yes. All right, here we go for Cece.
Back to water dancing with Arya. All right.
Yes. Why Daemon like even stopped to help this guy? I know he sent for his maester and all that kind of stuff. And Cece would know this too, because I haven't had a chance to do the research. But did Bloodraven lose his eye with an arrow, or was it?
No, he battled Bittersteel.
Yeah.
So basically, Daemon was fighting the kingsguard Gwaine, and they both had their Valyrian steel, and it was like this epic fight, like epic Valyrian steel fight. And then Daemon won, but he didn't kill the guy, so he was trying to get him to the maesters. I guess he just figured he'd be more valuable alive. That's my best guess, right?
That's a good guess, yeah.
If there's more to it, I don't know it, but I guess more valuable alive. And then Bloodraven comes up with his raven's teeth over the hill, forget the name of the hill, and sees this happening.
The Weeping Ridge.
Yep, and he shoots Daemon's son, according to Eustace, knowing Daemon would never leave his son. So he kind of like, I guess, had a better shot at the older of the twins, and did that knowing Daemon would come there, and then he just like porcupined him. And
it was 7 arrows, which I found pretty interesting too, because it matches up with the Faith of the Seven and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know what else it might match up with, but that's the 1-7 thing that I remember. So
I'm taking your spot, Carrie, with the vocabulary word ensorcelled.
Oh, I got one, but go ahead.
But that was when I was like, ooh, I like that word. So it's enchanted, bewitched, or under a spell. So that's what
cool. I like that word.
They do believe that that's what happened on that battle. So, but I also love how they said, like, in every time the swords hit, they like during that, like Blackfyre and Lady Forlorn, you could hear them sing or scream.
Scream. Yeah,
it's just like for a dance. It's like so. Ooh, like I love the poetry of it. It's very cool.
Yes, it is. And the one I wrote down was florid, Florid, because I had no idea what that meant, and it's about Lady Helicent. And it basically means you have a red or a flushed complexion.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And we are, and then, so that's another t-shirt at the end of this conversation. Sir Eustace says, small wonder we are cursed, because he's still talking about how he believes Bloodraven is pulling the strings, basically the puppet master. So
also, just to wrap up the details, so that's to wrap up the battle. If anyone wants to talk about the battle, have any questions or things to say, go right ahead. But so basically that happened. Bloodraven did that, and then So Daemon and his 2 twins are now dead, and then
And I didn't know.
Bitter Steel comes out, basically like raw, and him and Bloodraven have a sword fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, he gets his eye in that sword fight, and they said it was the second best sword fight they ever saw. And then Baylor and Maekar come in, and I don't know military words. I don't know them, so I apologize. But they came in and, I don't know, did the words people say in war and won. But Daemon was dead, so they all, it was kind of over anyway.
There was one about routed the rear.
In the flank. He wished he would have gone.
Yeah, because he could have gotten rid of Maker's flank, and then that way Bloodraven wouldn't have been able to get up on the top of the Weeping Hill, I think is what it's called. Let's see what else is said. Oh, if Aegon the Unworthy had given his sword to Daeron instead of the bastard Daemon, there might never have been a Blackfyre rebellion, which we talked about that last week. Where is Lady Forlorn? There you go. Where is Lady Forlorn? Is that something
I don't know.
that I'd give to be a mosquito, Miss Duncan?
That's a great question. Sorry, I totally have slipped behind on my pictures, friends. Sorry.
Yeah. I was gonna show y'all.
Look at that little guy.
What Duncan looks like in the books.
Duncan, he's all squirely, that's in his little outfit, except for the hat. But it's just and that's something that Egg says or Dunk says on the road. It's just because Sir Eustace is annoyed, can he take off that floppy hat? He kind of looks unprofessional, or whatever. And he's just yeah, if you want a boiled egg, you don't have any hair, it's too hot. In fact, Dunk was even envious of the hat. So, here's the battle.
Lady Forlorn is with Lynn Corbray.
That's right. I knew. Now I remember. Okay. Thank you for looking that up. I appreciate that.
Mrs. Duncan simultaneously put it in the chat too.
Okay.
So thank you. Thank you.
I'm trying to find a picture of Sir Duncan, but we'll see. Okay, where were we? Okay. I like when I just find it interesting when Sir Eustace says, in the midst of the blood and carnage, there's sometimes also beauty that can break your heart. And he talks about the way the sun looked when it set upon the red grass field. And the first thing I thought of was Dunk's shield with the sunset down at the bottom of it.
Oh, and I just thought those were the best. I thought I have in my notes. Oh, it was heartbreaking and wise, beautiful words. How a great battle is a terrible thing, but in the midst of blood and carnage, there's sometimes also beauty that could break your heart. So sweet. Oh my gosh!
He thinks
just loves her.
His sons won't ever get to see the sunset again.
Yes, there's my note. Aha, see, I found it. Singers leave much and more. I have 2 notes.
Yeah.
And then, my small wonder about that. And then I have, they stay out of the sun. How, this is the next part. So Sir Eustace kind of turns around and goes, and then they kind of get to Cold Moat, and he notices even the flies have fled. The flies have better sense than a knife.
That happened here.
They stay out of the sun. It's ugh, yeah, gross. You can just imagine how rank people were.
Yeah, really. I know. Really.
All right,
Cece, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna find that picture again.
So let's see.
So we're at the point where I think Sir Eustace needs to turn heel and not go any further.
Right.
Leaving Duncan Egg to finish the journey to Cold Moat.
And that's where they're talking about the compliments. And I don't know if Like where he says, "Hey, yeah, use your gallant
Look
cup."
at how-
Ooh, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, just had to count it.
What, his pecs or his
Oh.
Yes, he has
abs?
8 packs, Carrie.
He has,
8.
oh no, his abs. He has 8. Shut up.
He has a speechless. He has a stumbling. My.
He looks so
Sir
much different
Duncan.
from the book, though. Like that makes him really look like a lunk in the hardback book. But
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
and then the Kindle version too, because they have the pictures in there. And I have not written down any notes past this because of all my computer crap happening, and
Honestly, me too.
and all that kind of stuff. Legendary
Well,
battle sword, we know the location.
do you want to wrap it up here and just start next time, like from when they finish their walk? We could do that.
Yeah, since this has been such a thing, and yeah, we'll talk about it later, but we might start from your channel, Lori, since you have enough to like send rockets into space with your
Wi-Fi
Wi-Fi.
power.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi power. We're the world's most awesome Wi-Fi team.
I don't know if it's my company, too many people using it. Like I don't get it because we got all the new equipment and it's still not working. I mean, it's working better than it did, but anyway.
No, it's fine. And I'm getting really, really hot too. So yeah, I think this would be a good place to stop because yeah, this was totally Cece's alley too when we start getting into the
Yeah,
we need you,
cold mode. I'll just put it there when we get into cold mode. Yes.
So
this is where she was going to shine.
Like I have 166 is where I'm putting
yeah.
the
Okay, that's fine.
marker.
All right,
So,
Miss Duncan.
thank you guys.
And ODTA and Robbie.
Thank you.
And
thank you, Robbie.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Robbie.
And Thunderclap for
thank you, Thunderclap.
sticking around for the craziness. And we will be back next week and have our
8:30 or 8
I will have my shit together. It's better for me if we start at 8:30, if that's okay with you guys. Since yeah. It just gives me time to eat and all that kind of stuff. All right, awesome. So 8:30.
Yes, we will get Mrs. Duncan the Tall back. We'll all figure out our Wi-Fi situation.
We are working on it. And thank you everybody for coming. You guys are fabulous. And thanks for your patience because, you know,
I've run out.
We all have Wi-Fi issues. So rock on, Shaka Khan. We love you so much.
All right. Love you guys. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.
I've always got music going.